and welcome to another video of the Target Individual Experience, the Target Individual Program. So I think my email has been shadow banned. I try sign up for a VPN program for my computer and went through the process. Went through, got the code, uh, put in the code. Everything was fine. Um, I went to log in and it says incorrect credentials, right? Login credentials. No, like I said, I just created this account. So I said, okay, let me try again. So I went and tried to create a new account. Same email, same password. And it says email and password already exist, right? So go figure. Okay, but this is not new. I've had this happen before in the past when I purchase spyware, malware program, right? Where I've tried to create accounts and it was created and I try to log in and it says account credentials and stuff like that does not exist, blah, blah, blah. So this is what they're doing, okay? And also, last night I forgot to mention, there's a couple things I forgot to mention because, it was late. I was up late. What was I doing? Actually, I wanted to do a video using my computer, but I couldn't for whatever reason. My headset, the mic decided not to work properly. Okay, all of a sudden, But hey, so I had to upload the videos on my phone. What I forgot to mention is that on my way home, as I was recording and I finished recording, I uploaded the videos to YouTube. Okay, and I went to check. I was walking home and I went to check to see if the videos were uploaded, the ones I've done previously, and I had no internet access. They literally blocked my internet access. Not block my internet access, but also block my service. Okay, so whatever they were planning last night, because like I said, when I left Pam's apartment, she was like, bye, in a very, again, hostile way, and so the criminality is just unbelievable. Okay, and the fact that no one is listening, I shouldn't say no one, but the majority of people isn't listening because they're so brainwashed. Okay, um, that it just goes to show you how this government do these things to individuals. Okay, how they can manipulate, use technology to manipulate people without their knowledge, without their consent. How they can use the psychiatric industry. Like I said, they do the same thing in other countries that the United States will condemn, right? But the same thing that the United States condemn in other countries, they're doing the same thing here in the United States. Okay, so when it comes to human rights and any sort of civil liberties that the United States talk about with other countries, okay, they have no ground to stand on because they're doing the same thing here in the United States. Okay, it's like the pot calling the kettle black. You know what I'm saying? And so, also, when I my last video I did with the guy when I came out the store and the two guys were there talking. All of a sudden, they were talking and they were fine. But as soon as I pull up my phone, because he had this big ass empty suitcase, okay, and they were there talking. But it's something that I've talked about where they will, as I go home sometimes, I'll see them walking with suitcases in front of me, like middle of the night sometimes, big ass suitcase. It's like, come on, really? But again, it's the idea planted of moving, right? For me, they usually like the deportation theme. So I was in the store talking to one of the young guys that worked there in the bodega on Schenectady Avenue. And he starts talking about my nieces, right, my grandnieces. Okay, and um, he's like, I thought you. He's like, the two young girls, whatever, such. And I'm like, okay, let me indulge, let me engage him because I don't know what they're doing, and I want to find out. Okay, because again, uh, when I find out these things, I like to expose it, right? So in case they do this to anybody else, they can be aware of it. So, like I said, they will always try to find people, right, to recruit into targeting me. If you're a TI, into targeting you, it would be family members, friends, ex-friends, people you haven't seen in a long time, strangers. So he started asking me questions about my niece and about going into, as I said, he was like, oh, those two young girls that came in here, those were your daughters? And I'm like, why would he even think that? You know, they don't look like me, right? you know, so I said, okay, let me see where this is going. So then he's like goes into this whole thing. He's like, yeah, I thought they were your daughters and such and such. I said, why would you even think that? I mean, when they were younger, um, I was, I didn't walk into the store with them. He've never seen me with them, right? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, so I'm like, okay, what's going on now? So he's talking, and he's like, oh yeah. I said, no, 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 those are my niece, those are my grandnieces. And then he goes, oh, so so that means that your um, sister, which is their grandmother, and her daughter, which is your niece. I said, yeah, So he's like, yeah, those are your grannies. I'm like, yeah, okay, and you know. So anyway, I kind of like had to jump off that thing, and we started talking about history and stuff like that, and they, because one thing they know, and they always take this chance, is whenever they recruit somebody, they think that when I tell them the truth, maybe this person will listen, you know. And so, um, just start talking about history, and tell them some facts about history that you never knew and stuff like that. And then, he was like, again, they like to throw out the crazy, right? So when you're speaking the truth about what's going on, they label you as crazy, okay? Because this is how they use psychiatry to try to discredit you, right? To try to get others to not listen to you, okay? To turn your family and friends against you, right? And also the use of religion, because they know that black people, Hispanic people, are so religiously indoctrinated, particularly here in the United States. Those two groups are the most religious, and they know exactly how they condition them, and they know exactly how they're conditioned. So when I came in the house last night, my grandnieces, they were here because they're here during the week to watch my niece's son. Um, so they were all up. As I came in, went to my room, walked in the hallway. My oldest grandniece was there standing in front of the kitchen, staring at me. And I'm like, oh, wow, okay. So this is what they're doing now, right? If it isn't my niece, you know, then now they're using my grandnieces, right? So again, you know, and who knows, right? And again, when they do stuff like this, it's usually to try to label you with a horrible label, you know, some horrible, especially when they start using teenagers and young girls. Okay, they try to label you as being a pedophile or some shit like that, something that people will basically kill you over. Okay, so this is what they are doing. Okay, in order to try to discredit, try to get people to turn against you, is to basically manipulate their mind using this technology and using brainwashing. Okay, and another thing I forgot to mention with, so I was, so when Pam came pick me up yesterday, I was talking about, because I I had bought Ethan a laptop because the laptop she bought was crap. Okay, and so I had applied for credit, which I got, and um, were able to get him a laptop for school because he needs a proper laptop for school. The laptop she bought was from Dell. I don't even know why she did that. I mean, you would think that since I know, um, a pretty good amount of, I would say, with computers, um, that she would consult with me first. But of course not, because like I said, they manipulated her where she doesn't listen to me. She doesn't respect me, nothing like that. And this is all part of their conditioning to her. And I've told her this years ago, from the time I started dating her, which was over a decade. I've told her what was happening to me. I was honest, upfront about it. But when you have people who's been manipulated, and she's and her personality, because again they study not just me, they study her personality too, so they know that she lives in her own bubble and she doesn't see the world for what it is, but what she sees the world within her bubble, right, and within her circle. And so I've told her, I said, you got to be careful. And so, like when I find out that she was seeing her ex or going out with her ex or what have you, and you know uh, went to some hotel and stuff like that. And when I found out, I think I was in school. I think I was showing on videos. I was walking to the bus stop, and the person would be on the street, and they would always looking at the Sheraton. They'll look at me and look at the Sheraton Hotel that's downtown Brooklyn. And I keep saying to myself, are they trying to tell me that whoever she was in the hotel with, that they used that person and they you know possibly brainwash her, you know? And it could be a possibility, right? Could be true or not true. But this is what they were. This is when they did that. This is what I was thinking in my mind, right? Because again, this was when she just started behaving in a very weird way, you know, where we would be lying in bed together, and then she would like, she had like this look in her face, right? It was like a look of disgust or nausea. You know what I'm saying? And so, um, I was reading one of my one of the chapters in my psychology book for my psychology class, and it talks about how they can condition people, brainwash them to where if they, like I said, they want to smoke a cigarette, that they will feel nauseated or disgusted and stuff like that. And so this is how Pam was behaving. And I had to ask, I said, hey, are you okay? I said, is there anything that I did that makes you, have this look in your face? And she was like, no, no, I'm fine. I'm fine, I'll have you. But I knew there's something more. And, plus I know that she has other issues that, from childhood that she have to deal with. And, but that's on her. I've asked her to seek help for those things. And she hasn't. So, I guess she thinks she's fine. So anyway, but yeah, like even and the way how she sometimes she'll uh, you know change from like 1 week. Last week she was calling me every day. Then the weekend came, not a word, not a word. Didn't call me. Didn't such and such. Right? Yesterday she called me in the morning, and I guess because she had got into a little accident with her new car, but she was calling me, multiple times a day, you know, about books of Ethan, and trying to tell me about her day and what happened, how she's, and I was studying too, so I kind of listened for a minute, and then I think, all right, but this is what they do. It's like knowing how to use her to try to manipulate me, but it didn't work. Like last night when I was over there, I know they wanted me to stay, but I didn't. I left because I told her I'm not getting back into that situation where you know I can barely study. I mean, I, I study more now, but there are times when I'm being targeted, You know, when I'm being microwaved, that I have no focus, I have no concentration. You know, so whether I'm here or there, it doesn't matter. But at least when I'm here, at least during the day, um, you know, I can at least try to study. And sometimes I can get really focused, all right? And then sometimes when the talking is happening with the microwave and the remote low monitor, and after that, I have no focus at all, none whatsoever. So yeah, you know, so again, you know, doing these things, right? Trying to use, find them, manipulating them, brainwashing them. You know, when I came home last night, my bedroom door was open. There was a laptop on my bed, and I think one of my grandnieces were in my bedroom, and I told them I don't want them in my bedroom. Stay out of my. Why are you in my bedroom? Okay. When I left, my bedroom door was closed. Okay. So now I got to talk to my sister about this now. So you see the disrespect. It started, you know, with my grandnephew. Okay, the one who told me that's why no one likes you and no one respects you and all this stuff. So this is the thing that they're doing. And when I say to us as black people, this is how they're destroying our family unit, okay, because of this religion, right? And being manipulated and being inducted into these types of cults, religious cult, okay? And yet you don't see how this is destructive, not just to you and your children, but to your family structure. You know, it's frustrating, but what can you do, right? What can I do except to do what I'm doing, which is, you know, exposing, you know, talking about this stuff. Okay. Well, hopefully today will be a better day. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video.